Greetings, I'm John Phillips, and this is Up or Down. The topic of birth control hits the Vatican. Is it right for police to spy inside your own home with a radar device? And should you have to pay for being a no-show to a party? All this and more will be judged with a thumbs up or thumbs down by our panel. They are stand-up comic and commentator Mr. Steven Cruiser and PJTV contributor from his home studio in the great state of Texas, Mr. Scott Ott. And Scott's going to have to use his old-fashioned thumb because there were cutbacks here at PJTV, and the first thing that we had to cut out of the budget was thumbs. So Scott's going to have to be old-fashioned today.
You know, it'd be
I'm
so
getting
awesome
it in position.
If Scott had a prehensile tail that he could just flip up, that would be more fun. No thumb, but a tail.
What do you mean if Scott had a prehensile tail?
I don't look at your Tumblr, Scott.
All right, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Our first topic centers around the Vatican because Pope Francis is speaking out about birth control. He said to a crowd in the Philippines, quote, "Catholics don't have to breed like rabbits and should instead practice responsible parenting," end quote. Pope Francis said there are plenty of church-approved ways to regulate births and that no outside institution should impose views on regulating family size. So let's start with the Catholic here. Thumbs up or thumbs down on this, Steven Cruiser?
Oh, no. I love the Pope, but I don't think that's exact. He said this doesn't mean, I think it was a little more general, broader statement, but I mean, if you're going to say no birth control, no nothing, and you're going to leave, and you're going to say, you know, the only time that sex is sanctioned was within the confines of marriage and da-da-da-da-da, then let the people go out and breed like rabbits if they want. If you're going to get married, you're going to go through that, and you're going to stay married, breed like rabbits. And plus, we need it to combat. You know, we need to build the ranks up somehow. We need missionaries, John.
Just out of curiosity, what are the church-approved ways to regulate births?
The rhythm method. You monitor, that's what it is. You monitor all of it. And that's gotten more sophisticated in the last several decades, but that's mainly the abstinence and the rhythm method. Those are the ways you monitor. And, you know, if a woman is in touch with her cycle and everything, you can work around that fairly easily. But if you're not, that's just about it. Anything else that you were imagining? No. No.
There you have it, the words of amateur OBGYN Steven Cruiser. All right, Scott, thumbs up or thumbs down?
You know, it's hard for me to care about this because I first of all, I don't count on the translations of the things that the Pope says. And secondly, I just really, you know, I'm not in that group, so he doesn't really matter to me. He's just another guy talking. However, I will tell you that right now I'm reading through the Bible in a year on this app I have on my Gizmo, and I'm in First Chronicles, and there's a lot of genealogies listed here. And I'm going to tell you that in the Old Testament, I mean, breeding like rabbits probably wasn't the phrase. At that point, the rabbits were looking at the people and going, "Dude, settle down, man."
All right, on to topic number 2, which involves government surveillance and privacy issues. At least 50 law enforcement agencies across the United States are using a radar device that can see inside your home. The device, which is called Ranger, that's R-A-N-G /R, allows officials to peer through the walls of houses to see if anyone's inside. The FBI and the U.S. Marshals have been using this for more than 2 years now. Officials say this tool is key in keeping officers safe, especially during very tense hostage situations. Steven Cruiser, is this good or bad?
It's bad because there's way too much surveillance, but this is like still one of my favorite reasons for walking around with nothing on at home too. You can get more, you know, portly bachelors walking around naked at home. Officer peers a lot is going to rethink his strategy every time he wants to look in the home.
Be careful, though. There's a fetish for everything.
Yes.
All right, Scott.
Yeah, I'm afraid if the officer saw that, he'd go, "Hey, I know this was supposed to be a big, important bust, but let's come back later." You know, no, I don't think that this is appropriate constitutional use of police powers. I can understand if you're in a hostage situation or, you know, a terrorist situation, but the problem is, what are the checks and balances on this? How will we know that the police are not using this the way I know police are now using another technology, which allows them to drive through town with this car that literally scans every license plate that they pass at high speeds and checks on everybody as they do it? We're getting a lot more powerful technology technology in the hands of law enforcement, but we have no method for restricting the use of it. I guess all I can hope for is that very soon on my phone, I will have a jamming device that keeps them from being able to look through my walls.
Well, how long before the Jehovah's Witnesses get these and they can tell that we're actually home and just not answering the door?
That's what the naked works for them, too. Long story.
Uh-oh.
No, I actually had a college professor say that. He said he had some Jehovah's coming by his house every week for like months, and it was Saturday, the only day of the week he could sleep in. And finally, on like the 5th Saturday, he just answered the door naked, and they never came back.
There you go. Nature's deterrent. Now on to our third topic. It's about a new way for you to get some rest while traveling. It's a sleeping cabin located in the middle of an airport terminal. They're private rooms that feature storage for your bags, a bed and pillow, so you can nap, a workspace with internet access, and even an alarm clock. Although all of us have phones that act as that, but they provide one for you just in case. You just need to swipe a credit card to get access inside. Rates are around $12 to $18 per hour. Currently, the nap cabs, that's what they're called, are up and running at the Munich airport, which plans on expanding them around the world. So up or down to a new way to escape the airport insanity, Stephen Cruiser.
This is a pretty good idea for people who can nap easily. I'm not one. There's already a nap cabin for me out on the tarmac. The only place I can sleep is on a plane when it's in flight. As I don't sleep well in a bed, at home, anywhere, but the only place I can nod off is on a plane. So I've got that going for me. But for people who can cat nap at will, I think this is brilliant entrepreneurialism there.
Scott Ott seems like the kind of guy that can nap pretty much anywhere. Am I right, Scott?
When one of my daughters was in kindergarten, we got a note home from the teacher that was praising my daughter. And one of the things they said was, Grace is a good napper. And for me, that was as good as a DNA paternity test. I knew at that point that this was my daughter because there's nothing I do better than nap. However, I just think it's a little creepy to be like in this public building and people are walking all around you and you're in there taking a nap. And by the way, did you know, you probably knew this, on transatlantic flights, they have this for the pilots on the airplane. The crew rotates back and they have like a little nap room. So they're down there doing that. So I guess it's okay.
On the 777s. Well, we asked our fans on Facebook and Twitter about the strangest place they've ever taken a nap, and this is what you had to say. Susie Hiller said it was while sitting in an inner tube while floating down a river. I wonder if alcohol was
that's
involved
not napping,
in that
that's
incident.
drunkenness.
Sean Buckendahl said it was in a submarine while on a 2-month deployment. Okay, well, you got to catch a nap or two when you're on a 2-month deployment. Shelley Cavallero Crescent said it was on top of hundreds of Army duffel bags in Germany during a Cold War NATO exercise back in 1985. We landed in Ramstein, and I was exhausted. Thank you all for participating. There you go. Now on to our final topic. You may really identify with this one. How many times have you missed a friend's birthday party? Well, were you sent an invoice for missing it? This actually happened in jolly old England. A child was sent home an invoice after he missed his classmate's party. The mother, looking to recoup some of the money she paid on a ski lift ticket for the party, the mother threatened to take the child's family to small claims court for refusing to pay her back. Is the mom being tacky? What do you think, Stephen Cruiser?
The mom is being tacky. Thumbs down on the mom right here. But then this first illustrates a couple of points. Why, one, I never liked my child to hang out with other people's children. I don't like other people's children. I like my child. I don't like other people's children or other parents. Secondly, if you're the kind of person who befriends a tool like that in the first place, you kind of deserve whatever's coming after that. You should have a little better sense of who to let yourself and your child associate with.
You know, Scott, I think that this woman stepped over the line by trying to bill the no-show kid or the no-show kid's parents for not coming to the birthday party. But I do like that someone is putting a line in the sand against the flakes of the world.
Well, I'm gonna give a thumbs down for this person, but only because of the methodology. Because billing somebody after the fact, just face it, you're not going to get paid. I mean, that's just the way it works in business. You can't, you know, the Girl Scouts understand, never give them the cookies until they give you the money. So in this case, what the lady should have done was sold tickets to the birthday party in advance and offered to redeem those tickets for a full refund if they came to the party. That way she knows she was going to get her money's worth. So, you know, it is so frustrating. I used to coordinate some youth events when I was director of a Christian children's camp. And it's amazing. You put out invitations by email and on Facebook, and people will tell you that they will be there, and then they just won't be there. And they have no qualms about doing that. So I don't mind, you know, maybe slapping the wrist a little bit of those irresponsible people who made you invest money that you'll never get back.
I just encountered this situation last week where somebody wanted to try to make plans with me to attend something, and I was saying, I'm not going to be able to give you an answer till last minute. And they said, you do that a lot? And I said, yeah, because I'd rather give you the correct answer than just say yes 2 weeks in advance and then bail.
Or if you say you're going to be somewhere and you can't make it, you email the person,
yes, you let them
or you
know.
call the person,
yes.
And you say, hey, something came up, I can't make it. Let them know so that way they're not hanging.
I do believe communication is rather easy to facilitate in this day and age. There
No
are
kidding.
methods of getting a hold of people.
Well, all of this leads to our Facebook poll. We asked our viewers about being charged for being a no-show to a party, and here's what you had to say. 20% of you said yes, a commitment is a commitment. 80% of you said no way, it's a birthday party, not a hotel reservation. Thanks so much for participating. Oh, 0% said I have no friends. Don't want to leave that out. But if we did this on Media Matters, that would have gotten a much larger number. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. What do you think about Pope Francis telling Catholics not to breed like rabbits? What about the new radar device that can look inside your home? Leave your comments in the comments section below. And most importantly, don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/PJTV. I'm John Phillips for Stephen Cruiser and Scott Ott. Thanks so much for watching and have a great weekend.